Hello, welcome back to Matsuribayashi. Back to fragment hopping. Yeah, I mean, was last time we did 3, we did Erie's background, which was really good. We got some Rika with her family and how I guess they got involved with the Erie clinic stuff, and we got sort of the start of the kidnapping thing for the minister's grandson for the dam stuff. So you can do this, by the way. So yeah, also thanks for the people who informed me that after we do this we kind of need to like watch these in a certain order. I think for that, like they said, I'll probably use a walkthrough, but I'll probably like at least first try to guess which one goes first. We already kind of fucked up the order, I think, because we kind of like jumped to Rika, and I feel like, I mean, maybe they did know about the, like, I thought they would like talk about the queen before like going to Rika, but I'm not sure. What are we doing? We can do this because we got Rika. Don't know what that is. Yeah, that's not. Nope. No. So we have the intro stuff too. We can do those, I guess. Sure, why don't we start with Hanyu? I think that's a good place to start.
でしてダムの建設事業に伴う地域振興や地域産業の育成などですね。
What are you even talking about? The local industry is about to get flooded. That's they're saying when you move into the city more. Get out of here.
わしらから税金絞るだけ絞っといて、それに対する返事がこれっちゅうんか。あんどりゃ誰の税金で給料もらっとんじゃ。ですから、先ほどから申し上げておりますように。言い訳など聞いちゃならんねえ。いつ計画を中止するんか聞いとるんじゃい。お前じゃ話にならん。東京の建設大臣を連れてこい。ここではっきり白黒つけちゃう。
Freaking yuppie! Get out of here. Is that an... I've never heard of yuppie. I think that's worthy of a doodle. Okay, doodle. Oh. Yuppie? Yuppie. A young person with a well-paid job and a fashionable lifestyle. Short for young urban professional or young upward mobile professional, coined in the early 1980s.
Yuppie.
Does that make sense? Huh. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but it can definitely be used as an insult. Kind of. The auditorium is filled with angry shouting. The sign at the entrance says, Hinamizawa Dam Construction, explanatory meeting. Every time the officials on stage tried to say something, the citizens packed into the room silenced with their shouts. Trying to ignore them, the official continued to explain the pros of the dam, but that just further infuriated them. Between the stage and the citizens, there's an open area where a police squad is standing by. If they weren't there, the citizens would jump onto stage and start a riot. I'm watching all of this from the back of the auditorium. It's obvious to anyone they're being swallowed by their anger. They become filled with a bloody red rage. The anger that comes from a certain purpose the anger that came from a certain purpose becomes a purpose in itself, and it creates a vicious cycle where anger leads to more anger. Anger is a necessary emotion for humans. People face many difficulties in their lives. Anger gives them the motivation to fight and conquer such difficulties. Therefore, anger is an essential part of life itself. So I will never reject anger itself. However, anger like this that goes far beyond normal makes people forget about their purpose. That is no longer an essential part of life. As the blood rushes to their head, a person can't even remember what they've done. They go out of control. Such emotions are very painful, sad, and difficult to endure. I can clearly see the villagers who live alongside us turning into demons. I understand the rules of the human world. The power of an individual can't be compared to the power of the government. To be able to fight, an individual needs to become a part of a larger, unified power. But to steer that unified power in the right direction is extremely difficult. The cycle of anger leads to more anger. Not anger that helps you live, but anger that exists only for anger. It's just like being a demon. And this emotion is capable of violently rousing us from our long, peaceful slumber. Everyone is immersed in their own anger. We lived peacefully with the villagers while we slept quietly. Yet now we've awakened, and it's like the world is trying to return to that age when demons were said to rise from Onikafuchi Swamp. I keep shouting at everyone to get them to calm down, but my voice can't reach them because of the vicious cycle of anger. Even so, I'll continue shouting, hoping even one of them will hear my voice. Because if I don't do anything, the demons may awaken. The demons that went into a deep sleep may reawaken because of this commotion. Then all of a sudden, the atmosphere changed. Looking up, I saw that the angry exchange between villagers and those on the podium had developed into confrontation between the villagers themselves. What's going on? Satoko's dad. The legend. Got that Teppei energy. Though apparently he was scarier than Teppei, but he wasn't like as bad as Teppei, I guess. Yo. Or you versus Satoko's dad? Uh-oh.
てめえ、お涼さんと知っててその口聞いとるんかいな。上等きっちゃら、おい。名乗るかい、おい。やっかましいわ。その崎がなんぼのもんじゃい。わしは北条じゃ。ご主人客は引っ込んどるんか。
The balls of steel.
おお、北条の。なまぬかしよった。ようも村を沈めちゃる言えるの。お前、なんぼで村を撃った。たまらんか死に損ないが。いいんか。南沢には貧乏にも大勢おるん。お前んとこみたいに山に畑をうなるほど持ってる地主とわけが違う。わしゃあの国の報奨金で十分満足しとった。町の公営住宅も手配してくれるっちゅうし、なんも不足はなかった。それをオンドレラが全部ちゃぶ台ひっくり返しちゃった。オドレラ地主の都合で人まで巻き込むなや。そんなに国と喧嘩せんかったらオドレが一人でやれ。したらん銭は誰が払うんね。オドレかいな。うちはな、貧乏だし育ち盛りが二人もおるん。おとなしゅう国から銭をもろうて職を斡旋してもろうて人生再設計ちゅうとこなんや。それを踊れはなんじゃ。
いつからお前はわしの代表になったんじゃ。お前そんなに偉いんか。ああ。
おうおうおう、北条のようも抜かしたこの裏切り者が。なら村から出てけ出てけ。
おう、出ていったらもちろんそれに見合う銭はお前が払うんじゃろうな。わしが国からもらい損ねた銭きっちり都合つけてくれるんじゃろうな。なあ、村から出とうとも銭がないんじゃ。踊りが払うんならすぐにでも出たったろわ。
北条の言う通りだ。立ち退いてもいいと思ってる住民もいるんだぞ。御三家は俺たちを巻き込むな。
おうおう、なんじゃ今抜かしたのは誰じゃ。名乗らんかボケ。
残りたいやつは勝手に残ればいいだろうが。立ち退きも権利じゃ。勝手に人様の権利に干渉すんな、このダラズが。そうじゃそうじゃ。その先のクソババアはすっこんだね。
ああ、もちろんダム計画に同意してくださる方には見合う保証を用意いたしております。決して土地の搾取ではありませんので。
黙れ役人ボケ。おんどりゃ村真っ二つに策を魂胆かい。死ねや北条。村の空気を吸う資格はねえ。今すぐ息止めて死ね。
なめんなボケが。ぶっ殺したら前に出るクソババア。おいおいおい、引っ込まんかいデカポリ。
よう抜かした。よう抜かした北条のこの園崎おりょう。久々に頭血のぼってきよったわ。きっちりけじめ取らしてもらうかんの。繁盛楽しみに待っとれや。
北条やれやれ。国は俺たちに仕事と住みかと金を与えろ。
こらこら、やめなさい暴力は。お互いやめてやめて。
すったら上等じゃ。恩師が出てこんかいな。
Everyone is being tainted with bloody red anger, and I can only watch. The least I can do is to apologize to for the tragedy that is about to happen. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. This is how things started. From this day onward, the Houjou family and the Sonozaki family will wage a feud against each other, and the Houjou family will be ostracized within the village. This marks the beginning of Satoko and Satoshi's lives of tremendous hardship. Dude, that was fun. Yo, I really like that. Honest, I mean, you can clearly, like, kind of side with, Satoko's dad. I mean, he's not wrong. Especially, like, you're in a poor village, the government gives you, like, some money and says they might, I'm not sure if it's just for them, but if they're providing you with some public housing, it's not a bad deal. But there you go, the legendary start of why Oryu hates the Houjous. I mean, knowing Oryu, that's, I mean, it's not like, it's not reasonable, but like I can definitely see it. Also, I think that this unlocks this one. Repetitive apologies. I think that's probably matches with Hanyu, because she did the repetitive apologies, but we're just gonna be like pretty we'll be clean this episode, and let's get Satoshi and Satoko done. Then we'll decide where we want to go from that, right? Let's start with Satoshi, I guess. When I asked Rika-chan, she said Satoko might have possibly gone up to the mountain behind the shrine. Oh, you don't want to go there, Satoshi. It's a death trap. She's fond of going there. That mountain is covered with trees, vines, and fallen logs, and she really liked the area. Any child would dream of having a secret base. And to Satoko, her secret base is the whole mountain. However, the mountains were undeveloped territory, making them a dangerous place that was easy to get lost in. As her brother, I'm a little concerned that she spends so much time on it. But maybe I should worry more about myself getting lost since I rarely come here. The mountain gets dark quickly when the evening falls. If I still can't find her, I should look for her somewhere else.
Satoko! Satoko!
It's been a while since we heard Satoshi's voice, I think. I'm yelling as loud as I can, but in the woods, my voice doesn't carry that well. According to Rika-chan, she has been making her secret base in this area. She goes up there alone to expand it. What does she mean by expand it? If it's a secret base, she must not want anyone to find it. Does that mean she set up some traps? Concerning that, I should have noticed the traps on the mountain before one got me. Wow. Suddenly my foot sunk into the ground and snared on something like a jump rope tied beneath the dry leaves. I heard some noise from up above. Then a big ball made of branches fell right next to me. It had to be one of the playful traps Satoko loved. Playful. It's one way to describe it. If I wasn't so lucky, I'm sure the ball would have hit my head. Hello, smudge Satoko. Yeah, I mean, this is pre-Teppei and Aunt Satoko, so she was like, kind of like how she is with Keiichi back then.
ダメだよこんな遊びは危ないじゃないかこの先は危険だから入ってはいけないって営林署の看板がちゃんとあったはずでございましたよ
It's a good one.
それを無視する方には素敵なトラップの大歓迎がお待ちしておりましたよ
As her brother, I should stop her from doing things like this. But when I see her brilliant smile, I can't say anything else. I haven't seen that smile in some time.
それよりサトコ今日は家族みんなで食事に出かけるから夕方までには家に戻りなさいって言われてたじゃないか別に私お食事なんか行きたくありませんわお母さんとお父さんが2人で行けばいいんじゃありませんの行きたければニーニーも一緒に3人で行けばいいんですわまだお父さんのこと怒ってるのかい
What? Oh, he threw an ashtray at me.
違うだろう
That happened with our previous father. Okay, so she's already suffering from the syndrome. Our current one hasn't done that. Yeah, I mean, it made sense. So, because we know she had sort of a rough time with, because her mother kept getting different lovers, I guess. And then I guess that's what triggered the syndrome to go up a level. I don't know what level it is. I assume like 3. It's 3. 4 is like 5's death. 4 is like paranoid Keiichi, I think. 3 is like probably this. It's either 2 or 3, I guess. He locked me out on the veranda. He didn't feed me lunch. He complained I got him the wrong brand of cigarettes, then he slapped my face, saying I shouldn't be a picky eater.
それから
she isn't talking about her current stepfather. Things about all our different stepfathers have mixed themselves up in her head. Every time our mother remarried, we had to call a different man our father. Oh, so she actually remarried a bunch of times. Okay, not just relationships. The word father isn't a word that should be taken lightly. If you don't truly acknowledge a man as your father, how can you call him that? That's how much weight it carries. However, just to make things smooth and peaceful, I used the word father even if I didn't want to. But it was too difficult for Satoko, young as she was, to do the same. Ever since Satoko was very little, she's been having troubles with all our stepfathers. She never opened up to our current one. To Satoko, a father figure is no longer someone she can trust. It's true that our current stepfather doesn't have any experience being a parent, so he sometimes gets rather upset with her. But ever since the incident where Satoko called the child abuse hotline, our stepfather regretted his mistakes and tried his best to communicate with her. Even my mother realized how much Satoko has suffered emotionally when it was pointed out by the social worker. She's doing her part in trying to bring Satoko back into the family. But Satoko completely refuses to even try. It's understandable though. Her childhood has been filled with misery. Satoko can only open up to me. That's why I have to be the one and only family member she can trust, otherwise she'll be all alone in this world. But a brother and a sister alone can't be considered a family. Even if we don't get along now, if we continue to communicate, even in a small way, we may be able to become a real family someday.
サトコ、今のお父さんはだんだん優しくなってきたよ。サトコと仲直りしたいっていつも言ってる。
そんなの聞いたことありませんわ。
お父さんがそれを言おうとするとサトコが逃げちゃうからだよ。お父さんももっとサトコと話をしたがってる。もうかぼちゃを無理やり食べさせたりはしないって言ってたよ。
What? Gotta eat your pumpkin to become strong. I'm not much of a... Actually, I don't know. Pumpkin's alright. It's actually alright. It's like medium, I guess. I do like pumpkin pie, though.
嘘ですわ。
Crying Satoko with an angry face.
かぼちゃを食べるまでは食卓から出ていっちゃダメって何度も注意されましたわ。
These are all experiences of her childhood. You can definitely, like... I mean, obviously it's Hinamizawa syndrome affecting her, but, like, you can see why. Who does that, dude? And then she isn't talking about her current stepfather. That actually happened. Imagine being tied up and your parents is forcing you to eat something. It's actually pretty spooky, dude.
サトコ、とにかくニーニーと一緒に家に帰ろう。せっかくお母さんが福引きで当てたお食事券が無駄になっちゃうよ。
Dude, what kind of coupon is that?
予約制だから今日行かないと無効になっちゃう。
ニーニーだけで行けばいいんですわ。私は一人でお留守番してるのが好きなんですの。
Satoko usually doesn't stay out playing this late. She knows we're going out and that's why she's out here alone. Although I want to snap at Satoko, I controlled myself. Because she only has me, I can't scare her.
とにかくサトコ、帰ろう。食事に一緒に行くかどうかは帰ってから決めてもいいんじゃないかな。それにサトコに案内してもらわないと僕家に帰れない。
ニーニー、あれだけ何度も一緒に連れてってあげましたのに、まだここが覚えられませんの？まったくしょうがないニーニーですわね。
Dude, the serene Satoko face. It's actually been a while. But it has the snail tooth. The truly blessed one is the version without the snail tooth. But that one's like super rare. Satoko holds out her hand. She often says she's embarrassed to hold my hand in front of people, but she's holding out her hand right now. I took that hand. Satoko's fragile hand. I have to protect her as her big brother.
帰ろう、サトコ。
ええ
There you go. Dude, this is nice. I like getting all these, because sure they're like short tidbits of information, but like it actually does fill in the gaps of the story, the overall story pretty well. Like the stuff with Tepe and Ori was like, it's like it's a thing that you might like not actually need to understand the story, but it's nice to have. So what would this count as? If this was a requirement. Oh, this one. This one works. Except for, actually no, this one's different. This one requires the Satoko and this. Nothing back here is Satoko related, right? Okay, well let's yeah, we don't want to go here ever, I think. It's limited to the 5-page for now. Oh, you can do this one too. Okay, so there's a lot of. Let's start with Satoko though. 2 Houjou. Actually, I guess it's 3 Houjou things in a row. I was trying to say hype, but this sounds kind of sad. So, I mean, I'm still a little bit hyped, but sad hype. My name is Satoko Houjou, but Houjou is my current father's family name. I was also Satoko Hatake, Satoko Yoshizawa, and also Satoko Matsura because of my previous fathers. I'm still not used to being called Hojo-san. If someone calls me Satoko, then I know that person is talking to me. Because Satoko is a name I've been using since I was born. I don't understand why my mother keeps getting married and divorced. If she's going to get a divorce, why does she get married? If she's married, why does she get a divorce? I've asked her before, but depending on the situation, her answers were different. When I asked her when she was married, she got angry. When I asked her after she got divorced, she cried. I don't understand the meaning of marriage. So I have no interest in trying pictures of a bride in a wedding dress. I don't think I'll ever get married. I don't want to keep changing my child's last name. My teacher once asked if I liked my mother. I think it was when I was in kindergarten in Okonomiya. That is a very difficult question. Because sometimes I loved her very much and sometimes I hated her very much. I couldn't decide. When my mother was nice, she smiled all the time. She made us happy. She thanked me for being her daughter. When my mother wasn't nice, she frowned all the time. She treated my brother and me very poorly. She told me I should have never been born. Oh shit. It's pretty brutal. Lots of, I mean, obviously it's just a common thing, huh? But a lot of divorce stuff, I feel, is in this. I mean, obviously it's relatable because my parents also divorced. And it wasn't a happy story, but, so yeah, I understand. Though, I mean, even though, I've been through a divorce thing too. It's definitely not hasn't been as extreme as any of these. So yeah, but it's rough. I definitely do. I mean, maybe it's like a lot of speculation, but I do think it probably affected me as a child too. I think I was definitely less social, or it turned out less social, I guess, because of it. So yeah, it's rough stuff. I get the sentiment, definitely, from Satoko, who's also still a young child while she's inner monologuing about this, right? So my teacher asked me if I liked my father. That was a very easy question, because I always hated him very much, no matter who he was. The new fathers always treated me nicely at first, as if I was their real daughter. They always told me I could think of them as my real father. But they couldn't be my real father. Besides, I didn't even know my real father's face. I called them my father. I couldn't. That was disgusting. Ooh, it's wrong. The two, I mean, I guess neither of my parents never remarried, so I never really called anyone father or mother. I don't think I would be able to. It does sound weird. Maybe it's easier when, I mean, I guess maybe not, because Satoshi said that Satoko wouldn't say it because she was too young, but I feel like when you're too old, it's also just weird. Right before divorce, my father's always become very irritated with me. It's pretty... Oh, well, right before divorce, because the relationship's not going well. Okay. They treated me like a cockroach. Again, this is understandable since apparently some tied her to a chair forced her to eat pumpkin. They told me they didn't have money to feed me, they threw things at me, and they locked me out on the veranda. I was told I could forget about them because that was all in the past. I think that was a different teacher from a different school. Maybe that's true. Because ever since Houjou became my father, my mother has been smiling. I haven't seen them get into a fight, and as I have seen happen just before a divorce. They have little arguments here and there, but those don't lead to a divorce, and they always make up. But I'm sure they'll get a divorce sooner or later. Then it'll be the same old stuff with the family court, divorce settlement, a night flight, and child support. So who knows how... I mean, I guess she would know about that since she's been through it so much. Jesus. How old is she here? She's like... super young, if she's like, what, 9, 10 in the normal story? She's like 6. Or younger, I guess. So who knows how long this Houjou will be my father. That's why I don't even feel like calling him that. He also treated me well at first, but when I didn't call him father even after he asked me repeatedly, he became irritated. They'll get a divorce soon. When my father gets into this mood, a divorce is on the way. After a divorce, it's my mother's turn to be irritated with me. Then she'll tell me she shouldn't have had me or she can't be happy because of me. Why is my existence causing problems for my mother? I asked my brother and he told me, if you have children, it's not easy to find someone to get married with. So, I think that's a pretty true statement. Sounds like a pretty tough psycho, because, like, I didn't kind of understand the parent side. Like, if you're... Like, I mean, if someone asks you, like, someone else's child to call them father and gets mad when they don't, I feel like that's not, like... It's not on the child, but, like, Satoku's definitely not helping. And if the relationship does, like, fall apart because of that, obviously the mom would be mad at Satoko, so... But Satoku's, like, freaking a tiny child, so how does she know any better? So it's just one of those cycles that you can't really, break out of easily. It's just very unlucky, I guess. If you have children, it's not easy to find someone to get married with. To my mother, remarriage is a very important job, so I can understand having children around would cause problems. I think I finally understand the reason why I'm a nuisance to her. I asked my brother something else. Why are children hated by new fathers? Well, that's simple. That's because family members all have different roles. A mother's job is to love her children. A father's job is to love the mother. That means I'm a nuisance to both my mother and my father. It's a very weird way to look at things. What? My brother is more mature than me, so they don't look down on him as a nuisance. But maybe I am. No, I am definitely a nuisance. So now I know. Both my mother and father want me dead. Jeez. Oh my god. She's like 5 years old. But if they kill me, they'll be taught. But that doesn't mean they won't kill me. If I were to look down the cliff, and if no one was around, my mother and father would push me off for sure. My father has become abnormally nice to me recently. He started to act that way ever since I made the fake call. I know for sure it's just part of the plot to kill me. So I won't let them trick me. I'm sorry. Lily, when I listen very carefully, I can hear a voice apologizing. Hi, Hanyu. The voice sounds similar to mine. Her mother must be telling her that she shouldn't have been born. I'm sorry. Sorry. But I won't apologize like that. I'll live. I'm going to strike back. I'll kill before I get killed. I'm sorry. Pushed? Well, we did kind of see that coming. That was the one theory I even had, that Satoko either killed her parents or she killed her aunt and then Satoshi had to cover up for her. So she did yeet her parents off the bridge. I mean, that also kind of hints at it. Jesus. You know what? Out of these like 3 hints we've done so far, one of the things I got from it is that Teppei, or I don't even know his name now, but Houjou, not Teppei Houjou, the other Houjous. Actually, he seems like a pretty good guy. He seems hot-tempered. He probably got his rep from being scary from standing up to Oryu, but he seems like a genuinely, like, someone good. Obviously, I guess there's the chance of him just acting good because of the child services thing, but from Satoshi's point of view, which is a little, again, more mature, probably more reliable, he does seem like he wants to help, and the mother also is trying to change her ways, and yeah. Which is also sad, because, I mean, it's all just sad. There you go. What should we do? I'm kind of down for one more on this docket. We can do Rika. We can do... Definitely not that. We can do Rika. We can do... Not that. We can do Rika, we can do the Houjou siblings. Why don't we just do this? Is a Houjou episode. We'll do some Houjou siblings. Uh-oh. This is also gonna be... I mean... I guess not everything was sort of sad. But... it's not gonna be happy. The Houjou family is well known for going against the whole village during the dam conflict. Okay. This is, I'm guessing, after they died? Both the husband and the wife were rather aggressive, and they fought a fierce battle, especially against the Sonozaki family. Although the whole village treated them coldly, the husband and wife didn't really care and kept on fighting. In a way, they're extremely strong-willed people. It also, like, their motivation of moving out, using the money and starting, like, a new life, it also kind of matches with them trying to rekindle things with Satoko. Which is nice. I'm sure their children had to go through a lot because of them, though. Satoko-chan and Satoshi-kun were treated coldly by the villagers as well. In addition to that, Satoto-chan and her stepfather didn't get along, so their stress levels must have reached their limit. Because I'm the director of the local clinic, I'm a rather respected member of society. People usually tell me a lot of things. Getting all those rumors, huh? Especially in a small village. You would definitely get a lot of rumors. So I was aware of the treatment they were receiving even before I met them. I met Satoshi-kun first. Satoshi-kun came to the clinic because he felt ill from too much stress. He must have thought he had a cold. When I examined him, he even told me that. But hearing his repeated sighs and by seeing the exhausted look in his eyes, I knew right away that it wasn't just a simple cold. Medication would heal his symptoms, but that'd only be a temporary measure. The only way to truly cure him would be to change his living environment. But that was easier said than done. He was surrounded by tangled and complicated relationships with the village and his family, so just resting for a few days and taking some medication wouldn't do. Time was the only thing that could ease off the cold treatment from the villagers, but we were talking a very, very long time. That's why I felt I had to be their first ally in this village, so I could rescue them. I couldn't do anything about his stressful environment, but I could try to diminish the anxiety. So I thought of the best way to teach him how to vent his stress. And playing sports is the best way to do that. Ooh, baseball. So I asked him to join the junior baseball team that I coach. Okay, so this is like, I was wrong. This is not, I think this is not, I don't actually know. Is this, it kind of sounds like it's not, after the death of the parents, but like I thought he joined the baseball team like when he was with the aunt and uncle, but I could be misremembering. Anyways, as a researcher, I devote most of my time to Hinamizawa syndrome, but I do need to do something else to relax. I used to play baseball, so I decided to coach the local kids team. After a while, the children of Hinamizawa started their own baseball team, and somehow I became their coach. Doctors can't provide health just by giving medication. You need a sound mind in a sound body. I believed health can be maintained through sports as well. But our team needed more people. So I thought of asking Satoshi-kun to join. Being a bookworm, Satoshi-kun wasn't interested in playing sports. He wasn't sure how joining the baseball team would help his situation. I didn't need to go on and on about athletic medicine to explain why sports help people become healthy. I just wanted him to experience it himself, to realize how great it feels to play sports. I think he realized it gradually. He was reluctant until the very end, but he attended all of the team activities and games. As I saw Satoshi-kun slowly regain his liveliness, I realized my plan worked. However, if Satoshi-kun was under that much stress, then Satoko-chan, who lived in the same family climate, must have felt the same way. Unfortunately, I didn't think of her back then. So when Satoko-chan was carried into my clinic as a patient, I regretted doing nothing about her even while knowing the situation. As Satoshi-kun recovered under my guidance, Satoko-chan was left alone in her stressful environment. Also around the time there was an incident bad enough to make Satoko-chan collapse. That was of course her parents' deaths. Oh, okay, so this was, well, I don't know, it's eerie reminiscing kind of. The day of the Higurashi festival was a very uncomfortable time for the Houjou family, because although it was a village festival, it was also a day to celebrate victory over the damn construction project. Yeah. It's understandable that they would plan a family trip around that time so they could leave the village. Satoko-chan's parents fell off the cliff at the part they were visiting. It happened on such an unlucky day. Because it happened on the day of the Watanashi, people said it was the curse of Oyashiro-sama. And people labeled the Houjou family as one that was cursed by Oyashiro-sama. The parents were given the cold shoulder by everyone in the village. So with their parents gone, Satoshi and Satoko should have been freed from that, but unfortunately the accident happened on the day of Watanashi. That's why the members of the Houjou family continue to be shunned. Satoko-chan was the only one who was at the site of the accident. Satoshi-kun didn't go on the trip because he had an event with the baseball team. Okay, so he has been playing baseball for a long time. Therefore, the police mainly interrogated her. The detective Oishi suspected an act of an organized crime by the village, so with Satoko-chan as the only witness on site, he drilled her with questions. She was as stressed as Satoshi-kun, perhaps even more, so of course she couldn't take it. During the interrogation, she began to wheeze and gasp for air. The anguished look I saw on Satoko-chan's face when she was carried into the clinic was very, very tragic. It broke my heart just to imagine what she had to go through. Oh.
監督、聡子は大丈夫ですか？
ええ、安心してください。一時的に混乱してしまっただけですよ。
あっても大丈夫ですか？
やっと薬でぐっすり眠れたところです。
This is Satoshi being denied to see her sister in the clinic, I think.
できれば起こさないであげたいところです。しばらくゆっくり休ませてあげましょう。様子を見て数日入院させてあげるのもいいかもしれません。大丈夫。私に任せてください。
ありがとうございます。
I know Satoshi-kun is a great big brother who truly cares about his sister. He empathizes deeply with her. In other words, Satoshi-kun's worries and stress were reflecting Satoko-chan herself. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but while Satoshi-kun was of course sad about his parents' deaths, he may at the same time have been a little relieved that they were gone. His sister wouldn't have to be driven into a corner anymore. Unlike Satoshi-kun, Satoko-chan didn't have the social skills to get along with her stepfather. That's a very harsh way of looking at it. I mean, it kind of made sense, but like, I don't know if Satoshi is that really glad. Since I mean, maybe he was. I guess he was just stressed, but that was mainly because of the whole family was probably stressed from the shunning of the village, right? I don't know, maybe it's just because I like the stepfather now, kind of. Damn it, sorry, I don't even remember your name, even though it was definitely name dropped in Minagoroshi. You have my respect, dude. You're definitely above some characters, like some classic characters like Teppei and Rina, and maybe some others, but I won't say them yet. So putting her mother aside, I was certain that losing her father, the greatest cause of stress in her life, would bring a great change to her home environment. Yeah, but I couldn't believe what happened next. The two were sent to live in an even worse environment with their aunt and uncle. Yeah, that's a serious downgrade. Although at the time I was rather optimistic, thinking this new environment would be better for the siblings. Yeah, it's a bad low roll. Okay, I think that'll be it, but I think we have a lot of things we could look at in the next episode. Nope. Maybe? No, not yet. I think this is probably after the first incident. Okay, so none of that. We can do this. Maybe this. So this for sure. Maybe this. We can do Rika. Okay, we actually don't have like too much, I think. We only have 3. Well, that makes it easier. Then we'll get more as we go. But thanks guys for watching. That was fun. Again, that felt like a very Houjou centered episode, but I liked it. I liked you know, positive. I have a positive vision, I guess, of Satoko's stepfather. The first one, not the person who tied her up and fed her pumpkin. But yeah, that's good. I liked it. This is fun. I mean, I already said I liked it, but I really do like it. Like Fawful said in the comments, it's like I'm reading like 50 tips, but I think these are like, they're a little better than tips. These feel like top quality tips. Obviously not like the meme ones. The meme ones are also golden, but these are good in their own right, I think. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you next time with some more fragments connecting. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you then. Bye.